Hello, 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 hello. This is episode number 69 with Truth Be Told podcast. I'm your host, Britt, and today we have a good one for you guys. I have Miss Urmi in the building today. She will be talking about being more present. She is going to tell us a little bit more about her and everything that in details what she has going on. How you doing today, boo boo?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. I'm so glad to finally be able to have an interview with you, a conversation is what I like to say. Have a conversation with you in detail. And today we're talking about being more present, especially with the holidays coming up. I think this is a great topic. So I'm glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Before we go into the topic, though, you have to tell me more about yourself, where you're from, what you have going on, and what made you want to come on the podcast today.
Okay, so I'm Urmi, and I'm based in Montreal, Canada. This is where I live. Although you asked me the question where I'm from, this is not where I'm from. I am from Italy. I was born and raised there. My parents are from Bangladesh, and I'm a full-time employee in the financial sector, but I'm also engaged with other things. I'm a big advocate of women's empowerment. I'm a self-published author. I have a blog. I have a YouTube channel. I do all of these things on the side. I pursue my passions, which help me to be more present. And I'm here today to just share how I try to be more present in my life, because I think it can get hectic during the day, especially during the holidays. And when you have a very busy schedule, you forget to pamper yourself, you forget to take care of yourself, but you need that moment to reconnect. You reconnect with yourself, and that's you do it when you're present and it's just you and yourself.
You are so right. I am so intrigued by you already. You said you live in Canada, but you're
Yeah.
from Italy.
Yeah.
I've never been. You have to come take me. I'm in Texas right now.
Oh, you know what? You're the second person that I'm meeting today who's from Texas. I don't know why. Like the person I met before, she's also from Texas.
Really?
Yes, yes.
You never know those divine interventions is what I call it. So
Ah,
maybe the universe is just putting us together for some reason. I always say it's not a coincidence. So who
yeah,
knows?
who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
But yes, but you definitely got to tell us more about. So you said that you live in Canada. How is it living in Canada? How is it different from over here, like United States, and as far as like what's different with Canada and their rules? And I don't know. You have to tell me because I'm ignorant to it. So that's why I'm asking you.
So I have never lived in the States, so I wouldn't really know. Although I think I would like to live for a year in New York. That would be probably my dream. It's probably because I watched New York since I was a kid. So it's like stuck in my head that, the life in New York is great, this and that. There's like a vibe to it.
Mhm.
Probably I will do it for a year, but life in Canada is very quiet. If we have to make a comparison, I think life in the States is a bit more hectic. People are always in a rush. They're always like go, 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 go. In Canada, compared to the States, it's not like that. But if you compare Canada to a European country, then Canada would be considered like go, 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 because in Europe, people are a bit more laid back. They enjoy their life, they take their time, and probably that's how they're staying more in the present. Whereas in Canada, people are always in a rush in a way compared to Europe, but less in a rush compared to the States.
Oh wow. Do
Yeah.
you go home a lot?
Um, so it depends on what you mean by home, because if you mean physical home, my physical home is in UK right now because my parents live there. But if you mean metaphorically home, it's Italy. I don't go as much anymore, but I do go for vacation to visit some of my friends. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you for educating me this morning. I am excited. I said, let me get up. Well, I've been up all night. I actually work overnight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, let me go ahead. My schedule switched, and so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get Umi on here, and we're gonna vibe. We both are in women empowerment, so I'm very excited about that. I always feel like women can get together and be like-minded and love on one another and learn from one another. What made you get into the women empowerment era? And tell us some things you're doing with that before we go into this topic.
I I think the reason why I started doing this is probably because there was a lack of a figure in my life. Like I never had a mentor or never had someone older than me that I could look up to and ask questions, especially like a female figure. And it's also because the South Asian culture can be a little bit like double standard. Not that the other cultures are not, but I think the society is based on that idea that, women cannot do this, women cannot do that. Like it's, I don't know where it's written, but anyway, people just like to create rules out of nowhere. And so there was a drive in me that I wanted to change that, because it was also something that, like, even when I was growing up, I was also told that you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot go out, you cannot do this. Like, it was like, why can I not do all of these things? But then if I was, like, if I say if I was a boy, and I know I would have got a different treatment. So that was mainly the main driver. And then some of the things that I do right now is that because I had that lack of figure, I was like, I want to be that figure for the people that are much younger than me who need that, role model in their life. So that's how I started to be an advocate for these things, and I mentor. So that's one of the things that I do. Like, there are a few organizations that I'm like linked with, and I mentor young talents who want to, build a career in finance, work in finance, or they just want to, improve themselves from a personal perspective. So I try to share a little bit about the things that I do, try to share some of the wisdom and teaching and learnings that I got in my life. So I share it with like young people. Usually they're Gen Zs. That's how I like to categorize them, the Gen Z. So so that's what I do.
No, I love it. I love it. We are doing some of the same things. I'm in a mentorship as well. And I do believe that young girls, especially now with social media and everything going on, they need somebody that they can look up to,
Mm-hmm.
somebody that they can relate to,
Mm-hmm.
somebody who they might look like or don't look like. A lot of us sometimes are in our shells and we get quiet and we don't want to speak or talk about something that's bothering us. But when we have communities like this for women empowerment and a safe space for
Yeah.
somebody to go into, I always feel like we all can agree to disagree in those type of communities. So
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I actually have Chronicles of a Virgo podcast on here. Shout out to my homegirl. Good morning, sis. And she definitely said that we need each other to heal and inspire others. So I definitely think that plays a big role. So when we talk about being more present, okay, that is the topic today, y'all. This is episode number 69. If you're new to this channel, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. I can switch up some stuff for y'all. I'm always trying to satisfy the people. So let me know what I can do. But we're talking about being more present today because sometimes we can go into autopilot. So, Umi, when I asked you what it means to be more present, what does that mean to you?
For me, it just means spending some time with myself, alone with no distractions. And one of the things that I do very much enjoy doing to be more present is taking walks in the morning before I start my day. Usually, like, I wake up pretty early, and before I do anything at all, I put my pants, I put my sweaters, I put my jacket, I go out, and I'm just walking on the street, and I walk listening to a podcast, and I'm trying not to message too much. I'm trying not to, check my emails while I'm doing all of this. And I take that moment just to be just with myself. And I think it sets your day as well. Like, it sets a different tone, and it helps you to, you're practicing mindful walking because it's just you and yourself walking. And I try to like be like observing my surrounding. I try not to be too distracted by other things, and just it's just me and myself. And that's how I try to be present. And it also adds to my count step, because I'm also trying to get like 10,000 steps a day. But it's been a bit challenging because of the weather. Sometimes it gets like really cold and you're like, oh my gosh, do I go out, do I not go out? So it's a bit challenging in terms of that. But I always take that like 30 minutes or 40 minutes to go for a walk and then come back home, and that's how I start the day. That's for me what it means to be present, to do mindful walking.
I'm glad that you said that, because a lot of people think that they can just roll out the bed and start their day. Like when I say that, they like, let me just roll out the bed and go to work, maybe brush my teeth, maybe put on a bra, maybe put on some deodorant. I mean, maybe, but you have to get yourself together before you can actually serve other people. And that's what I tell a lot of people. I see a big difference in myself when I get up in the morning. Like you said, you get up early. I'm up early every morning too. I have a prayer group. I'm very into my
Mm-hmm.
spiritual walk. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm always, I spend time with God in the morning, and that's me being present, being in the moment, actually getting my thoughts together, because I do believe in the morning, our subconscious is still we're still in that realm. I don't feel like we're fully up in the mornings, and I think that's like the best time to sit with
Yeah.
God or sit with some type of higher power. If you don't believe in God, just some type of something higher than yourself, to get into that present moment. Can you tell us the difference that you've noticed since you started doing those routines, and what made you start doing that?
So it started so I usually before the pandemic I used to walk a lot. But the thing is I was never doing it like consciously. Like I would just walk because I had to walk. But it wasn't because I wanted to be with myself. It was just me to move from point A to point B.
Hmm.
And I would get like several steps done and so forth. And then after the pandemic, I stopped walking because we were all like in a lockdown. So I never walked. And I started to notice like, like I was not getting a lot of movement done during the day. I was not getting out. I was not getting the sunshine. And then one day I had this conversation with a friend, and she was telling me that, you know what, I think we should start walking because it's good for our body, it's good for our mind, and so forth. And that's when I was like, you know what, I don't want to walk to move from one point to another. I don't want to walk just for the sake of getting the steps. I want to walk for myself and to get that energy in me. And I think it helps you. Like I started to notice that I do feel much better, and I try to walk in the morning because I think we all need that sunshine in the morning. And I was also listening to a podcast about this, like if you want to live longer, if you want to live like a happy life, there's simple things that you have to do, and one of them is like getting the sunlight in the morning. And now because the time has changed, we don't get that much of a sunlight, so I try to do it in the morning as much as I can. And I even feel guilty those days that I'm not doing this, because I'm like,
Hmm.
no, it's like it feels wrong that I'm like, I get out of my bed and I'm already like on my PC, for instance. Like I would rather take that moment of going out and just start, you know, getting that sunshine, getting some fresh air. And I started to see that I do feel much better, like really so much better.
No, I'm glad you told the audience that, because like you said, you sometimes you're so used to picking up the phone. You're so
Right.
used to checking your emails. But you said that you wanted something that you said struck my attention. You said that you didn't want to just move from one part, like point A to point B, just for no reason. You were being intentional,
Mm-hmm.
intentional what you're doing in the mornings. And I think sometimes because we're so stuck in autopilot that we're not intentional about how we start our day, or the thoughts that we're doing, or what we're thinking about, or what we're looking at.
Right.
Have you ever been in a moment where you wish that you could just like pause that moment? Like when I think about that moment, like like if you were doing something, say for instance, something that's memorable to you. Like for me, it's when I got married. I always, sometimes I get in that moment, and in that present moment I can think of all the things that I was going through, like all the feelings I was feeling. I was actually being present right there. I wasn't thinking about nothing else. The reason I'm bringing that up is because when you're in spaces like where you just really don't care, like, you're taking a class or you're at work. I'll say work because I stay in autopilot at work. Like, I'm just gonna be
Right,
honest with you. I'm like, okay, I already know if
right.
if it's a complaint, what they're calling about, or where they're going, what I need to do as the supervisor. Okay, I already know where this conversation is going. When you're stuck in those type of not not the best feelings, like you're in autopilot, what are some tools that you can tell people to do, like when you're at work and you don't want to be there?
So when you are at work and you don't want to be there, it's very, very challenging because you have to be there to pay your bills. You need this
Right.
job to pay your bills. But okay, one of the things that I do when, especially when I'm at work, is like I use my lunch hour
Hmm.
to disconnect from everything. So okay, probably I might be considered sometimes an antisocial when I do this because the thing is I really try to separate work from my personal life. So that
Hmm.
1 hour lunch that we have for me is like sacred. I think that's how you say it.
Right.
Like, yeah, for me it's like,
It's your everything.
yeah, no one can touch it. So I actually take that moment to like step out, like step away from the office, and I usually like just spend it with myself. And I also take that moment to like go away and like take a walk, for instance. So again, I try to do that because it does re-energize me. And I usually don't spend that lunch hour with anyone. It's just me. Like that's why I say I'm a little bit antisocial, because I don't like, I need that separation from work. Like I don't have lunch with like work, like colleagues or so forth.
Right.
And the other thing, especially when it comes to work, that I can suggest is that yes, maybe we might not love our job, or maybe we do, but we don't feel like being there. But try to see this more like an opportunity, not as a challenge. Like I'm going to work. And so think of it more like, okay, what is it that I can learn today? How can I make a difference in my life? So see it more like as a learning opportunity, so that you switch, like it's a mindset work where you switch that challenge, the struggle of not being there, as something good. So maybe you can start the day with, like, I don't know, with a good coffee, and you can buy the coffee from your favorite coffee place, and then see like, okay, what is it that I can do to make this day better? So what is it that I can learn? You can also do a to-do list, so that you do the to-do list and you see, okay, what is it that I have completed today, and it gives you that sense of accomplishment that, what, I had a productive day even though I didn't want to be here. So that could be like an option.
I love everything you're saying. That's why my interviews are so just informal, because when I meet like-minded women like yourself that's in this personal development stage and is actually doing the work, like, I can tell you're doing the work. I can tell you're in that space because of the answers that you're giving me. Like, you're learning that when to be more in the present, you have to disconnect.
Hmm.
That whenever you're in an environment, especially at work, because a lot of
Hmm.
us, I mean, I can say 80% of people probably don't like their job, but but you have to find something that gives you, hope and encouragement and all of those things, to keep going, to look for something positive. And sometimes our brains are so
Yeah.
focused on the negative things of life that doing that, being disengaged during lunchtime, having that sacred time to yourself,
Yeah.
actually puts you more in being in the present, being in that present moment. Another thing I was going to say too, is actually with engagements, saying no.
Yeah.
How have you done with that? Like, how does that help you be more present when you say no to opportunities that are not aligning with what you're trying to do?
It is always so hard. It's always so hard. Like to say it is like no, it's probably the worst answer that someone would ever get. But you know what? It's so important to put that boundary. It's so important. I think especially when like I think when you get much older and you understand a little bit about your needs and you understand what you want in life and you start to realize that you know what I don't want to do things to serve other people and I don't want to do things to please other people. That's how you gain power with yourself. And saying no, it has been difficult for me in the last couple of years, but I started to realize that like I don't want to say yes or do something just to make someone happy if I'm not able to make myself happy. So I have to put myself first.
Yes.
I have to put myself first because if I'm able to serve myself 100%, then I know I can serve other people as well equally. Because before it was the other way around. Like maybe I put so much energy in other things that I had nothing left for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started to put more boundaries now. Like if I see that there is something that, I don't know, there is an event, people want to do something like and then like I don't feel like doing it. I just want to work on some other things. I just simply say no and I don't add any other excuse. Like I don't add anything else. You just I said no. You take that as an answer. There's
Right.
I don't think we should go further and explain ourselves. And it's
I've gotten really
uncomfortable.
good at it. I've gotten
Yeah,
really good at it lately. I've been saying no, 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 no.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, and I love that you everything that you just said because I needed to hear this morning. Just about being more present, being intentional with
Mm-hmm.
everything that we're trying to do with our life. Y'all, we are in the fourth quarter. It's about to be a new year. You should already be planning for 2024. You should not be waiting until January and then you want to start planning and you know you're going to fail the first week. So
Yes,
So
yes.
definitely prepare yourself for the new year. Keep going. This is not the time to stop the drive. Um, I'm definitely excited that you came on the show today. I needed this
Mm-hmm.
inspirational talk. If there's something that you could say to the audience today, if there was anything that you would like to say about being more present to women that are struggling and just need your expertise in this field, what is something that you could say to them?
I think there are different ways to be present, and it's about finding the right thing. And so there are a few ways for women to be present. I think we always need that. Okay. So one of the things like you have to find the thing that works for you. And one way to be more present is to do journaling, which I very much enjoy. And so if you don't like walking, for instance, and you want to be more present, journaling is one way to be present where you're like writing down your thoughts. You write down what you're grateful for. You can do it like in the morning, you can do it in the afternoon, you can do it in the evening, as long as you do it. And it helps you to be more present. The other way, which you also mentioned before, it's with prayers, but also meditation. And I know meditation comes with a lot of work because it's not easy, but I heard there are so many like great benefits to it. And the other way is also to like through activities, but I mean by activities is also like, going for a run. But again, you have to like run mindfully and not just for the sake of running, It's like you are running because you want to be disconnected from the world. So you have to find the right thing that works for you. Like, for instance, I tried to do meditation, it did not work for me. But I found the other thing, which was walking and just being present with myself. So these are some of the things. So it's about trial and error and finding the right thing for you, basically.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Can you please tell the audience where they can find you at on social media?
Yes, so I have a YouTube channel called Urmi Hossain. I have a blog called myways.ca. I have my LinkedIn profile, which is Urmi Hossain. And if people want to connect with me on Instagram, I also have an Instagram account called Urmamio.
Okay, okay. Y'all heard her. Y'all heard her. She was dropping some jewels today early in the morning. I am gonna go back and listen to this because I'm like, oh my gosh, I wasn't ready for all of this. So I appreciate everything you're doing. Stay in that that era that you're in. Because we definitely need more women like you. If you were talking to the younger version of you today, what is it something that you would tell her? What is
Oh
it
my
something
God,
you would tell her?
that's such a difficult question. Every time someone asks me this, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I would tell my younger self. Honestly, it's so. I'd probably being like, I'm probably being negative about this because I'm like, how is it that I don't have anything to say to my younger self? But I'll
It's
probably
okay.
just, probably the only thing I would say is just keep doing what you have been doing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And she would be proud of you because you are
Mhm.
amazing and you're gorgeous. And I can see why you would want to be in New York because you got the face. So I
Oh,
can see
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, I can see you
Thank
on the
you.
billboard.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
But
you.
yes, but we're gonna before we sign out, I have a random question. I like to be fun at the end. So the holidays are coming up. If you had to X out one of the holidays out of the whole year, what is your least favorite holiday?
I was not expecting this. I was so not expecting this. Oh gosh.
You could say it. This is a safe space.
No. But every holiday is nice.
Okay. Okay, I
Yeah.
can ask you something else. So if you were going out on an evening and you were with your friends, what would be your choice of drink? Would you have a shot of tequila, a beer?
I don't drink. That's another. I'll get water.
Okay, you're gonna get water. Tell us something that you haven't shared with anybody else, and I'll let you go. That you would want to share, whether it's positive, whether it's something funny. What is something that you can leave us with?
I think you just want to put me on the spot today. I think that's what you're trying to do. Like, I cannot share because it's a secret. So,
Okay, we'll leave it with that.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Y'all, we are signing out today. This is episode number 69, Being More Present with Urmi. I love you and I am so glad that you came on today, guys. We are signing out and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. You guys have a good morning. Bye bye.
Bye.